Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome to EDM Chatters, the news show from EDM Matters about the EDM news that you care about. From brand new tracks to sensational stories and topics that matter, we're here to fill you in on what's happening. I'm one of your hosts, Vincent Beck, producer, one of the producers here at EDM Matters, and with me, as always, is the LA show guy, the man with the big beard, our host of EDM Matters, Matt Meadow. What's up, Matt?
Hey man, how you doing?
I'm good. I am, as you can see, not in my studio. I'm up in the Bay right now. Thankfully, not burning.
And as you can see, I'm wearing a hoodie for the aesthetic of the show, so I'm really giving it my all.
Where'd you get that from, bud?
Yeah, this is from a place called Vapor Fashion. You can look them up, vapor95.com online. We'll have the not an ad hashtag not an ad. We're gonna have the description below.
We're doing ninjutsu over here.
Yeah, we're gonna have the link in the description below because they have some really dope designs that I think everyone can appreciate. But the first thing I wanted to talk about, honestly, was we're pretty close to we're like approaching the 6-month mark of quarantine, and so much has changed. And I just started reminiscing. It came up a memory of a story that I posted from when I went to Ibiza 3 years ago, and I actually got roofied for the first time. I was at a Ushuaia for a show, and I was walking around with a group of people, and one of the girls started telling me, like, hey, I feel a little tipsy, can you finish my drink? And, me being the gentleman that I am and, the minor alcoholic said, yeah, sure, why not? Hand me the drink. Half an hour later, black. The next thing I remember is waking up in my hotel room the next morning at noon, having missed my 10 a.m. flight.
So you went to Ibiza around this time?
Yeah, September 6th, 7th, 2017.
What was the reason for you going to Ibiza? Because I know the story, but maybe our viewers don't.
I was invited for the closing show for Dimitri Vegas and Mike. Yeah. So I got to go up on stage and take a picture with Mike, facing the Dimitri facing the crowd, which was a surreal experience. But yeah, I remember that part. I do. And then the after party and me trying to take a taxi to Amnesia to go see Chasing Status and Pendulum play in the middle of the island, and them saying, no, it's probably not a good idea. You're too fucked up. And me trying to be like, no, I'm fine. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I remember seeing the I remember just seeing the photos on your story at the time and just being like, what is this? Who is Matt at this point?
Yeah.
Who went from college best friend, roommate to best friends with every DJ in the world. To Ibiza.
It's a blessing. It's a blessing. I've been blessed with so many people in my life to reach out and invite me to events around the world.
And I guess let's get back to the story.
Yeah. Okay.
There was a huge text chain. I think you put that on your story recently, part of the anniversary. But
yeah.
And one that sucks. I'm glad you were okay. Yeah.
I mean, okay. So to be clear, So to be clear. If you use roofies, you are the scum of the earth. I was lucky that I had people looking out for me. The woman whose drink I took was lucky that she felt the signs early on and gave it to me. And, I'm able to laugh about it now because thankfully nothing happened, but it is 100% not okay to use roofies, which are a date rape drug, on anyone, man or woman. Just don't do it. I'm able to make light of it because it happened to me, and that's how I'm coping with it. And it is a funny story, end of the day. But just don't. Just don't.
If you use roofies, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said it better than I did. One last thing before we do get to the news. Another memory came up on Facebook this morning. A year ago today, this is what was going on in the world. Steve Aoki went on Joe Rogan's podcast. Electric Zoo security was involved in rampant sexual abuse. Nicki Minaj announced her retirement from music. Facebook dating officially launched. Bricks of cocaine washed up on Florida beaches because of a hurricane, and Marshmello topped the country chart. And we'll definitely have more to talk about Marshmello later, but just think about that. A year ago, the world was just as crazy as it is today without a pandemic, and yet, yeah, we're still here. So
it's crazy. Like it's always going to be crazy,
everybody. You know? Yeah, nothing changes. Nothing changes. But yeah, let's get to some of the news.
My initial comment in the Google Doc here was, "What?" So there's a new genre on the horizon. It has emerged.
Yeah.
What's that genre, Matt?
It's called Future Riddim. There hasn't really been a lot of it, at least not a lot under the Future Riddim name, so it's hard to kind of pin down what it is. But I mean, imagine rhythm with a more melodic sound, and you think, isn't that just melodic bass? Well, yes and no. It still has that sort of rhythm core, but it has like a bit more of like a melodic, sort of more sound designy edge. So far, we have Sudden Death, Voltra, Ulasile, Leo Tricks. We got Crippling, Basic, Phonon. So, I mean, it's a bit of some big names, some littler names, but all guys who are up and coming and want to make this sound for the future. So, I think that's pretty special. And we haven't had like a fresh genre in a while. So, I'm for it. I don't mind it.
If Virtual Self or like Hyper Potions made rhythm, it's kind of like pulled back and like crunchy and maybe stripped down, but at the same time it's a little more like the sound design is a little more like, I want to say thought through, but there's more layers to it, and they just like drive it, like do more with it.
Yeah, it's not the simplicity of rhythm, which can, if you're at a rhythm show for an hour, it sounds like a house or a techno show. Honestly, it sounds like the same track for an hour. There's no variety. And for me personally, like, I like heavy tracks. I like headbanging. I used to like moshing back in the day. Now I'm 29 and, I got to take care of my brittle bones. But, I crave... I'm glad you enjoyed that. I crave...
I'm wearing a freaking compression sleeve. So
yeah, I was wearing a knee brace earlier this morning. So there you go. But yeah, I mean, I crave variety. So next up... You want to intro this? Because I got some hot takes.
Okay. So Marshmello dropped, I guess he produced on a hip hop track recently. Keyword Marshmello. Provided the musical accompaniment to 42 Dugs Baggin.
Yeah.
Got for us, Matt.
All right, so I want to start off. .com is Marshmello. .com made trap. Just because you made trap doesn't mean you're going to be good at hip hop. And hip hop is so dependent on who your vocalist is. Like, you can make a hip hop beat and make it fine. And if Marshmello made just the beat, maybe it'd be okay. But man, I hate this track so much. And his history with hip hop, just I don't know why he still does it. I mean, listen to these freaking lyrics. Heard I fucked her friend, she keep calling me a savage. She gon' suck cause she nasty. Once I fucked her, I be laughing. We will never meet again. Only thing I eat is tens. Bag, what you doing? Baggin. But this is Marshmello. This is a guy with a kids show, and who a lot of kids look up to, and who is a sponsor for Marshmellos. What are you doing with music with these kind of lyrics? Like, I just don't get it. And the song itself just isn't that good. The production is so mediocre. Like, I would expect like a little bit of like Marshmello flair, but it's just straight hip hop. Like, if you told me anyone else produced this, I would believe you, because I wouldn't think Marshmello produced this. And 42 Doug isn't a small rapper by any means. He has 6.3 million monthly listeners on Spotify, and he has a couple tracks with millions of plays, and yet this is just shit.
Really good hip hop like stems from the lyrics and the raps that are written, right? So
yeah,
what I like about some of my favorite artists like Kendrick Lamar or like Run the Jewels or Eminem or Royce the 5'9" or Joyner Lucas is that like
good names.
They're weaving narratives from personal experience, like growing up in their their various environments and stuff. And when you look at their lyrics, you can dissect them and see like where they've gone and where they've been and how like a lot of the times it's like about how let's take Eminem for example, like how like his fame has been a real detriment to like his mental health, for example. Like that stuff is like really cool to take from a rapper's lyrics. If you like this track, you can listen to it, and I won't like hate on you for it, but like don't just I guess like at the end of the day, don't think this is just like the hip hop to listen to. One other thing I want to talk about was like production. I feel like this is such a I don't even know, like for example, like Run the Jewels, like LP, his production style is like ridiculous. Like the guy will like sample like old vinyls, and mix them in and like sample old like strings from like 1970s like disc like songs or whatever, like sprinkle them into like a hip hop like into his tracks or whatever. He'll like rap on them too, which is like, pretty sick in itself. But the Marshmello's like production here is just so mediocre. Just like, okay, great, I know you're capable of doing more, and this just feels like he just phoned it in just to have like hype up like and drugs like trap and on his Spotify or whatever.
But I mean, we've been talking long enough about people who do bad production. I want to talk about someone who does fantastic production. You know who I want to talk about?
Who, Matt?
Pendulum.
Pendulum.
Yeah, I want to talk about Pendulum. And Pendulum hasn't released a song in the last 10 years.
We met like after that, but
a little bit, yeah. But I mean, still, it was
a little bit of time.
Yeah, but it was a large part of our bonding experience. Remember that?
Exactly.
Yeah, but back to it. I mean, yeah, there are probably like 99% going to release some new music soon. The group reunited in 2016 for Ultra and started doing a live show, and then they started doing a live tour, and then Pendulum Trinity, which was the group's 3 founding members, Rob Swire, Gareth McGrillen, and Paul Harding, started touring that. And through those tours, they previewed at least 2 new songs called Driver and Nothing for Free. 2 days ago, let's say September 3rd, Pendulum released a silent teaser that was just like one of their first social posts in a long while, and it was just a teaser that meant nothing. It wasn't any kind of recognizable symbol, but if you're not in music, it's hard to think about the importance of social media in teasing releases. If you think about someone just, let's say that some artist has a song called Soccer or Football or something, and they have played it at shows. Fans know the song's name, but the artist has never talked about it on social media. And then one day, they just tweet an emoji of a soccer ball or a football. Suddenly, that blows up because fans know that means something is happening. I'm betting this is what Pendulum is doing. I'm betting we're going to get some new music, and I don't know if it's going to be Driver or Nothing for Free or both or something else entirely. But I am putting my ass on the line that we're getting some new Pendulum music soon, and that is going to feel so good. Having been someone who used to live with a member of Pendulum, I am excited.
Like I said, refreshing.
Refreshing.
Maybe this next decade of music will just be like the last decade, and like Daft Punk will come back. All the people will come back, and
I'm knocking on wood. Do not jinx that. Maybe they will, but oh my god, that'd be phenomenal.
What are you hoping? Are you just like what's because I'm not a D&B head. I don't know what to call a fan of drum and bass, but like what's the next step, Matt? Like you're the certified expert here at EDM Matters about drum and bass. Like what's the next step?
unless they've gotten out of it, as far as I know, they're still contracted by their label for a 4th album. So I don't think they'd be releasing songs just for the fun of it. I have the utmost faith that they are going to drop an album probably 2021. But yeah, I am excited about the future of Pendulum.
It's really cool. Yeah, I can't wait. For sure. We have. Yes, would you want to introduce this one, Chris?
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know. From our experience on social media, it wasn't really well known. Wasn't really clear whether the DJ Erick Morillo was that well known, but you will know his song "I Like to Move It" from Madagascar. So just think of that song and think about this DJ's legacy. Well, as someone who is a legendary house producer, his legacy is a bit more tainted now because he was accused of sexual assault, a rape, back in... He was accused back in December of 2019, I believe. And in early August, he turned himself in to the Miami Beach police for sexual assault. The rape kit that they used on the woman, that they gave the woman, I'm not sure what the terminology is, but the rape kit from the case came back positive for his DNA. So he turned himself in. I guess he was released on his own recognizance because he was at home, where he was found dead actually last week. And the timing is a little weird. The coroner hasn't released a cause of death. There isn't really any kind of clear... They haven't released any kind of information about that. But yeah, DJ Erick Morillo died. He was 49 years old. And, I think it's a interesting case because I think when any kind of legendary figure dies, there's a place for mourning, but at the same time, there has to be proper recognition given to the fact that he was an accused rapist, though he never got his day in court, and he never really spoke on it, except for that he turned himself in. Right. So, I mean, that can be interpreted a few different ways. Obviously, there was a warrant out for his arrest, so I guess maybe he felt, it was easier just to go in himself. But no matter the case, he leaves behind a troubled legacy, for lack of a better phrase. Yeah.
Really so unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate. Yeah. So, he'll be missed by some people, but I think enough credit has to be given to the accusations that were levied against him, and make sure not to deify him and put him on a pedestal as some kind of legend, because even legends have their skeletons in their closets, and you never know what someone has hidden. So R.I.P. R.I.P. Erick Morillo, but you didn't leave behind a glowing past.
Right, and I guess we could talk about it a little more if we want to. Just kind of like this. I feel like this story, like this, situation keeps coming up with specific DJs. I guess of sexual assault. Basically, I don't know what it is. I guess it's just their position in power, that they just feel they're able to do anything they want without any repercussions.
I'm trying not to paint DJs with a wide brush. And if this doesn't apply to you, then it doesn't apply to you. But, say you're a kid who's bullied in high school because you like a genre of music that everyone else thinks is ridiculous. You get bullied relentlessly for it. You retreat into your room to start making music by yourself. Suddenly, people are listening to your music. Suddenly, you get good at it. You're touring. You're going all over the world. And suddenly, women want to sleep with you because maybe, you're on stage and you look more attractive because you're in a position of power, and you feel like you're in a position of power because people are listening to your tracks and they're tweeting at you, "I love you." And, for the first 3 or 4 months, you're sleeping with women or sleeping with men. People are throwing themselves at you. It doesn't take any effort at all. And then you get used to it. And then maybe someone isn't as receptive to your advances, and it catches you off guard. You think I'm in a position of power. Like, no one says no to me, and you take it too far. So, yeah, I think I 100% think it's a power differential. I think that's the same thing that happened with Space Jesus. I think it's the same thing that happened with Bass Nectar, and it's not okay. And something has to be done about it at some level. I mean, I don't think we should have DJs take a sexual harassment course, but I think every member of an artist's team has to hold them accountable.
Well said. Just be better to one another.
Just be better. But we do want to take it to a bit of a lighter note, since that did get a little bit heavy. But Vince and I are huge anime and manga fans, and when I saw this bit of news, I was really excited about it. DimMac, Steve Aoki's label, partnered with VIZ Media, and I don't know if you know who that is, but they are the English translators and the license holders for Naruto in the. I'm so gonna get made fun of for how I said that, but it's fine, whatever. Naruto.
Yeah, whatever. I'm half Japanese. I'll give it to you. It's fine. It's cool.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Whatever. Anyway, DimMac and VIZ Media started a collaborative line of clothing with Naruto, and so you can find them all on
the DimMac store. It looks sick, dude.
You can find them on the DimMac store. It looks really freaking sick. I guess we'll have some photos on screen. Yeah, why not? But I am so excited about this. I'm thinking about hitting up my contact at DimMac, seeing if I can score some of these. Like it's amazing. And Steve Aoki said, he says, I didn't realize it when I was young, but I've always been inherently drawn to manga because I saw myself in them. And Aoki does kind of look like a manga character when you think about it. He says now he wants to bridge my Japanese heritage and American upbringing in as many projects as possible. And, what better way than Naruto?
I feel like Naruto is like the One Piece of America. Like, everyone knows what a Naruto is and what a ninjutsu is. And
yeah, even if they make fun of how they say it.
Forbid Naruto runs.
Exactly, yeah.
But
it's widely popular.
I love these designs. I am digging I'm looking at them right now. I love this hoodie with the with Naruto sitting on the DimMac logo, eating some ramen. I'm all for it. Man, these are sick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the one too. Yeah,
these are cool. They just need to do a bleach one, and then I'll probably buy them all. I think this is like the first kind of like
actual anime collaboration. Yeah,
man.
I mean, other than Shelter, but that wasn't an original production. That wasn't an EDM artist teaming up with an established anime.
It was with like a studio that did. What else did they do?
Oh, it was
they did.
Wasn't it A1?
Your Lie in April. A1 did Your Lie in April and something else. That they make animes that make you cry.
Yeah, that's Shelter for sure. For sure. And that's actually a perfect segue because how much more Porter Robinson can we talk about? But Vince, I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna give this to you.
Yeah, okay, let's get into the new music we've been listening to segment of EDM Chatters. Hey, let's talk about Porter Robinson because he just keeps doing stuff each month. Porter Robinson just dropped a new track 2 weeks ago, I believe.
Sounds about right.
Mirror. He dropped Mirror from his up-and-coming Nurture album.
Yes. What'd you think about it?
I really liked it.
Yeah,
I love the positive vibe of all of these tracks, and just really like his voice. Like, I don't understand why he hasn't used his voice more and more, but he's done this thing to make it like this is going to sound cheesy, but it sounds like a character in the track, right? And it's like I carried over in Get Your Wish, Something Comforting, now in Mirror, and it I don't know why I think of this whenever I listen to Mirror, but I feel like I'm in a Sega Dreamcast, like in that era of like video games. Whenever I listen to like these tracks, because it's not even like EDM at this point. It's just like
no, it's not.
It's like his own thing.
Yeah,
like specifically in the construction of the track, I love the second half, where it's a little more sparse and more like EDM-y and like punchy, and you could feel like this at like a live concert or whatever. But
yeah,
I really enjoyed it. What did I write here? It's the number 2 most popular on his Spotify, so you'll see it like climbing the list, I guess.
Yeah. Which is pretty
capital
impressive.
Letters. Yeah. Or just drop "Look at the Sky" because I really want to hear that and fully mastered.
Yeah.
And this is exciting because we just keep talking about Porter. Like,
yeah, it's everything you ever want.
Exactly. And I'm just imagining what Nurture might look like live, and just be excited for the future. You know, like shit's crazy right now, but like, I just want to see Nurture live. I can't like hope it happens.
I'm right there with you. And another live show that I'd like to see is Disclosure. They just released their new album as well. Well, Porter didn't release his new album, but Disclosure just released a new album called Energy. And I gotta tell you, my first time seeing Disclosure in concert was back in 2015 at Austin City Limits. And I'll admit my tastes weren't mature, and I did not like it. I did not like it. And I ended up leaving the festival. I didn't go back to the Foo Fighters because I had lost my incredible spot. But that is all to say, my tastes have matured, and I've listened to Energy, and it is actually phenomenal. It's a bit more of an emphasis on like late dark night set clubs compared to their pop hits like Talk or Latch. You know, you have songs like Duha Mali Mali with I can't even pronounce their name. Sorry, no, that's with Fatumata Diawara. And then you also have Common on one of their tracks, which is an amazing collaboration. But it's a phenomenal house track, even for like novice house listeners. You can really kind of get into it, get into the groove. It's not off-putting. It's not the like repetitive kind of house. It's like a lot more soulful, and I really enjoyed it.
I took a listen to it earlier today. I'm not too familiar with Disclosures, like just, you know, career and everything.
Yeah.
So I wasn't too into it. I'm not like a house man, but I did like Tondo, because it kind of felt like it kind of sounded like a 70s disco like groove, which I love it when producers mix those kinds of like instrumentals, like strings.
I really liked it. Yeah,
like a driving bass line, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, full disclosure, this album's not for me.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Did you listen to the new ILLENIUM single?
Yep.
What'd you think? I'm gonna keep calling on you like we're in class. What'd you think about it?
Yeah, it's just more ILLENIUM and didn't really impress me.
Yeah,
that's just my take. I'm sorry. Like,
I feel you.
I don't know.
I feel you. I felt like his last album was peak ILLENIUM, and a lot of people say that, you know, this album is a lot like his first album, Ashes, and that's great for people who miss that sound. But, you know, for people who are expecting an artist to evolve and grow, it sort of seems like a step back when he should have taken a step forward.
I like that clean, you know, inspirational vocal, which sounds great, you know, but it's in there. It's in every ILLENIUM track, and then you got the drop that's just like some future bass.
Yep. So,
synth thing, and
so I think it boils down to, you know, if you like ILLENIUM, you'll probably like this. if you're already on the fence, this one isn't going to tip you over. All right, we got one last track on our new music, and it's the new Calvin Harris and Weeknd collaboration. What? I mean,
it's a fun track. I liked it, dude.
All right, so now here's where I disagree with you. I did not like it.
Oh, wait, you didn't like a Calvin Harris track? I mean, fair enough, but
I mean, I didn't like this one. I expected so much more from this pair. It sounds like elevator.
Really?
It sounds like elevator music to me, man.
Fuck. Okay. Well, okay. Hear me out.
All right.
This is a solid, like, I don't even know what to call it. Like, it's not even an R&B track. It's like this driving, like, 80s groove. I love the instrumentals. I love, like, this. I don't even know what I called it. It was like this 80s inspired synth chord progression that has, like, some added punch with, like, an underlying, like, kick drum.
Yeah.
Percussion's amazing. And that pairs so well with The Weeknd's vocals. This isn't so much like his work that he did with Daft Punk, but it's kind of similar. It's nice to listen to.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
okay.
I love it when that type of production comes through, and it's just a groovy track. I liked it.
And you keep mentioning production, and I will issue a caveat, so to say, that if this was The Weeknd Over Now, produced by Calvin Harris, I would have been completely fine with that. But this was like a straight up collaboration with Calvin Harris's name in front, and it feels like he really just sort of catered to The Weeknd instead of bringing more out of him. He met The Weeknd on his terms, and if this is a Calvin Harris track, I expect a more Calvin Harris sound, and it's not a bad track for if it was The Weeknd, but for Calvin Harris, I don't think I would be adding this to any playlists.
Right.
Yeah, I just don't think I would. But that does it for us here at EDM Chatters. I hope you enjoyed our ramblings and maybe learned a thing or two. Please don't forget to like and comment on this video and subscribe to our channel if you want more exciting EDM content from us. We will see you in the next one, which will hopefully be soon.